Hi there, my friends. Welcome back. This is the first of my Drawlloween paintings for the month. I don't know how many I'm going to get done, but I am doing every prompt, drawing it on my Instagram, and I'm putting up the sketches. But I thought it would be fun to experiment with gouache, and I'm going to try this all month because I want to get back into using gouache. I think it's beautiful. So let me tell you what I did. First, I'm working on compositions, so because I'm keeping that box and trying to break my characters out of that box layout, I put down tape, and I put down tape around my character because I really wanted to keep a very clean edge so I could still have that box. And the first thing I did was I laid down water. The first thing I did was I transferred my drawing, and I will actually put below all the materials I used, but I used a Cerl transfer paper in red to get my drawing on there quick. And then I put the tape down, and actually the cool thing about the Cerl paper is it's like almost imagine like charcoal, but it's not charcoal, it's some other kind of material in red. And when I would put it down, I'd put the tape over the part I needed to cut out, like her hand or her head, so that way I was able to see the outline I needed to cut around, which was really cool. But I'm digressing. So first I put down the water to make sure when I put down my flat layer, I always put a layer of color down to work on top of it. I wanted to make sure I got a very even layer. That's why I put the water down first. The water really helps to spread the paint easier. And then I'm slowly starting to build up my layers. I'm just putting in big areas of color. The background I wanted very kind of misty looking, so I kept it that watercolory look. But as I layer, I'm gonna start building on top, and I'm gonna add like thicker paint. Now this is designer gouache. When you use designer gouache, which is different from acrylic gouache or acrylic gouache, depending on what brand you buy, but the designer gouache will actually rehydrate when you put your paint down, so you can mix colors directly on the painting, which is not bad, but it might not be the color you're trying to achieve, so be aware of that if you're experimenting with gouache. Now, gouache can be used as watercolor, as you can see with the layering, and also it could be used very thickly, and you're going to get more of a vector-y kind of a look. Like, I always think it looks like vector images because you can get very flat color. It's very vibrant, and actually when it dries, it's got a matte finish, which is really nice. I'm so used to using acrylic, which has more of like a latexy kind of glossy finish almost, so it's nice to have a little bit more of a matte finish for a change. And again, this is just me experimenting with something that I hadn't used in a while because I want to use it on a project, a bigger project. So I thought, you know what, this is a good month to kind of play around with this and learn a little bit about the medium again because it's been so long. Plus the upside is these are actually smaller illustrations, so it's less intimidating to try to throw down a bunch of gouache and hope it does what you want it to do. And you know, you'll see as I'm going through, I'm layering a lot because I'm trying to figure out how to use this. I'm typically a person who works from dark to light rather than light to dark. So layering for me was, I love to layer with acrylic. I actually use like matte medium to help me layer and get a lot of nice translucent layers. But starting lightly is so awkward for me. I just kind of winged it and was like, all right, I hope this works. I hope I get what I want. And the background actually was my favorite because I definitely achieved that kind of misty look, and I even add a little more dark going into this as it keeps going. And it was cool. Like, I was like, you know what, this is actually not bad, and it's turning out better than I thought. And I did have plans to outline as well, and I wanted to make sure to outline using color rather than just black. Although not, I'm just trying to do something different really, because I use a lot of black outline when I do my illustration with marker, but this is just another option. I've seen people outline with colored markers, and I'm like, dang, why can't I do that? It never looks as good. I think there's something about black for me that really pops an illustration, but these colors are so vibrant, they pop on their own, so even having a very light, or not light, but like lighter than black outline is still gonna work. did a lot of layering with this piece. You're gonna see I went over certain areas a bunch of times. The vacuum, the cauldron. I'm definitely experimenting a lot. And if I didn't like the way it would come out, I probably still would have shown you this video, because I think it's important to see that, you know, even a professional artist struggles with things. And I say a professional artist just because I've been in the industry for like over 20 years. So at this point, you know, this is thankfully not for any professional use, but it could have been. And who knows, if I can actually get all of these done maybe within a few months. There's actually a couple I want to redesign in this layout with the box and the character breaking out from past Drawlloweens, because I just love the concepts. So what I might actually do is put together a book of these illustrations, if I like the way majority of them come out, you know, maybe just my little Drawlloween experience. I don't know. We'll see. Just another thing to put on the back burner with all my other projects. The really fun thing about the gouache is building up the layers, like being able to put a really nice pop color on top of, you know, like a dark color is really fun. Like you can see in her skirt, I added some really bright lavender near where the flame is because I thought it'd be bright over there. I loved working in her skirt. Like at first I was like, oh God, this isn't turning out the way I want it to. But you know what? Like it was kind of a happy accident the way it turned out. And that's honestly my favorite part, is those little nuances of pop color that just come out. And you'll see I'm starting to outline. And the cool thing about the outline is it does make a lot of areas of the illustration pop. And there you don't necessarily need outline. You can work without outline. But I just think I like it. I like that extra added little oomph. And you can see again, I used colors that were similar to the color of like the bodice or the skin tone. Notice actually the hand above the cauldron has a lighter outline because it's a little bit more lit from the cauldron, whereas the hand that's off to the left there, that actually is a little bit of a darker outline because it's more in shadow. I did that intentionally. Not really, I just noticed that happened. But yeah, this is my favorite part. And I was a little concerned because like knowing that the gouache does rehydrate when you go over it, I was concerned when I was adding the little magic swoops that you're gonna see shortly, especially because I had to paint over some areas of her. And I was nervous that it was gonna mix too much, but it actually kind of worked to my favor because I wanted it to be a little translucent in some places anyway. So in the area where it might have mixed with some of the color underneath, it just looks like it's more of a translucency fog or magical sparkly thing. I don't know what it's called. But like you could see some of the, like the shirt, and I'm pointing to it on the screen like you can see what I'm doing. But out where the bodice and the shirt sleeve kind of meet, you can see like the lines poking through a little bit. I think I ended up adding a highlight, so it might cover over some of that, but it's still kind of a cool look. There's so much you can do with gouache. You just really have to experiment a bit. We're getting to the end of the video here. I am really excited to try this again with my next Drawlloween composition. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe it inspired you to go back to a medium you haven't used in a long time or maybe never used before. Give it a go. Why not, right? What could you lose? You don't have to show everybody if you mess up and you don't like it, but I don't know. It's how you grow, right? So I look forward to painting another one. I hope you will join me again, and I will see you back at the drawing board.